Radhe Radhe everyone, a very warm welcome to JKYog Bhagavad Gita Study session. Very warm weekend also. It's very humble to start weekend with Bhagavad Gita study. And over to you, Minuji. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Pranay and Radhe Radhe, everybody. Very warm welcome to our Bhagavad Gita study session. Let's start with a prayer to Guru, Lord Krishna, and Radharani. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vasudevasutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Vande Vrindavananandam Radhikam Parameshwarim Gopikam Paramam Shuddham Ladinim Shakti Rupinim. Over to you, Gagan.
Thank you, Mummy. Radha Radhe. Thank you, Pranayji. And a spiritual good morning to one and all. Welcome to Bhagavad Gita Study. For those of you joining us regularly, or if you saw the message earlier yesterday or today, you know that we have reached the end of chapter 11. This long journey, long chapter, very important vision-based chapter, of course. Therefore, today, of course, bulk of this session is going to be on our full chapter quiz. I trust and hope everyone has had a chance to go through as much material as possible for chapter 11. Swamiji's Holy Bhagavad Gita, the recap videos, your notes, etc. So we'll get to that momentarily and run through several questions on the entire chapter. Before that, as always, we shouldn't forget Swamiji's introductions, if you all remember, serve as excellent summaries of the chapter. So let's have 3 volunteers to raise their hand using the Zoom participant feature, and we'll get you to read part or one of a paragraph each as we look at the introduction for chapter 11 as a reminder for us of what the entire chapter is about. So 3 volunteers, please. Okay, Dilji first, then Anuji. And Rupalji, will have you go third if that's... Okay, Pranayji, you've raised your hand. Great. Okay, sounds good. So Dilji, you'll go from in all the way till end here. And then Anuji pick up from he till fight. And then the last paragraph is Pranayji. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Chapter 11, Vishwarup Darshan Yog, Yog through beholding the cosmic form of God. In the previous chapter, Sri Krishna described his divine vibhutis, opulences, to nourish and increase Arjun's devotion. At the end, he faintly alluded to his universal cosmic form by saying that all things beautiful, glorious, and powerful manifest from just a spark of his splendor. In this chapter, Arjun requests to see Sri Krishna's Vishwarup, or the infinite cosmic form of God that encompasses all the universes. Sri Krishna obliges by granting him divine vision. Arjun then sees the totality of creation in the body of the God of gods. He observes unlimited faces, eyes, arms, and stomachs in the wonderful and infinite form of the Lord. The form has no beginning or end and extends infinitely in every direction. The splendor of that form is more than 1,000 suns blazing forth together in the sky. The vision makes Arjun's hair stand on end.
He sees the 3 worlds trembling in fear of God's laws. He witnesses the celestial gods taking shelter of him and the great sages extolling him with profuse hymns and prayers. He observes all the sons of Dhritarashtra along with their allied kings rushing headlong into the mouth of that fearsome form as moths rushing with great speed into the fire to perish. Arjun then confesses that on beholding the universal form, his heart is trembling with fear and he has lost his peace of mind. Terrified, he wishes to know the identity of this awesome god who bears no resemblance now to Krishna he had known as his teacher and friend. Sri Krishna responds by saying that in the form of time, he is the destroyer of the three worlds. He declares that the great Kaurav warriors have already been killed by him. So, being assured of victory, Arjun should get up and fight. Radhe Radhe.
In response, Arjun praises him as the Lord who possesses infinite valor and power and offers him repeated salutations. He asks for forgiveness if during their long friendship he has ever done anything to offend the Lord through mistaking him for a mere human being. He implores for grace and requests to see once again the pleasing form of God. Sri Krishna grants his desire and first returns to his four-armed form and then to his gentle and loving two-armed form. He tells Arjun how difficult it is to have a vision of God in the manner that Arjun is seeing him. His personal form cannot be seen by study of Vedas, nor by penance, charity, or fire sacrifices. By unalloyed devotion alone can one know him as he is, standing before Arjun and enter into the union with him. Radha Radha.
Thank you so much, Praneji, Anuji, and Daleji. So yeah, that is the introduction and summary for chapter 11. With that, we shall get into a quick look at the flyer you all saw before class. Keep that in mind. Having read about the cosmic form, are you ready to provide your unalloyed devotion to questions about Sri Krishna's wisdom? So as always, pen, pencil, paper, whatever instruments you need, keep them handy, please, and the Zoom participant feature to raise your hand. And Mummy, if you're feeling ready as well, we'll get into the quiz.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
All right, question 1. And again, as always, open book. Most of you know that, so please do feel free to look at Swamiji's versions. Question 1. What is the Sanskrit title of chapter 11? What is its English translation? So we'll have 2 volunteers for this, one for the first part, one for the second part. You can look through the book, your notes, and then somebody first tell us the Sanskrit title, somebody else tell us the English translation. All right, Anuji, Radhe Radhe, Sanskrit title, please.
Sanskrit title is Vishwarup Darshan Yog.
All right, thank you so much. And Daleji, translation, please.
The translation is Yog through beholding the cosmic form of God.
That is absolutely right. And that's already the second time you said that today, right? With the introduction and now here. So great. Thank you, Daleji. Thank you, Anuji. Let's look at the screen, of course. Vishwarup Darshan Yog. Yog through beholding the cosmic form of God. Next up then, question 2.
Question 2, we are looking for true or false. So read very, very carefully. Immediately after Arjun acknowledged hearing the supremely confidential spiritual knowledge, Sri Krishna revealed his cosmic form to him. Is it true or false? Anuji?
Radhe Radhe, I believe the answer is false because with his current apparatus of material eyes, he could not have gotten the darshan of the cosmic form. And that's why Is it okay if I say more about what was granted so he could?
No,
No.
thank
Okay.
you. Okay, so your first part was correct. That is, it's false. The reasoning we are looking for even better.
Okay.
What was the reason? Did he immediately see? Did Krishna immediately reveal his cosmic form?
And yeah, everyone else as well. Yeah, thank you, Energy. Think from Arjun's perspective. Yep. To let you look through some of the
Because
verses.
through that we are learning another lesson, a very important lesson. Okay, Dilji, go ahead.
I think Anu's sending in the right direction, but in order for Arjun to have a vision of the Lord of Sri Krishna, he has to have Sri Krishna's grace. So I think that's the reason that he wasn't able to immediately have the cosmic form revealed to him.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll keep it. But there is something very special which happened.
Okay, Rupalji.
Rupalji.
Radhe Radhe. Is it when the answer is false because it is not until Arjun showed his humility and he said that if I am strong enough to behold your cosmic form, then can you please show it to me?
Yeah, that's the closest to the right answer. Right?
So if you all remember, Arjun very humbly requested Sri Krishna. Then only Sri Krishna revealed. And if you remember, during the verses, we had mentioned this very specifically, that we have to learn this lesson in our day-to-day lives, you know. Even when we ask some question to Swamiji, we have to humbly request to him, right? That is the demeanor or behavior we have to follow in our day-to-day lives also. So this statement is false because Arjun first requested to see his cosmic form. Gagan, can you guide them to the right verse?
Yeah, absolutely. Let us take them there. Chapter 11. So if you look at right here, chapter 11, verse 3, O Supreme Lord, you are precisely what you declare yourself to be. So he's acknowledging, hearing about that supremely confidential knowledge coming from chapter 10. And now he places that request. Now I desire to see your divine cosmic form. With that respect, O greatest of persons. So what, of course, Anuji said is also right a little later. Dilji also right a little later. As the verses proceed from verse 3, indeed, there will be the elements of getting the grace, getting divine vision, etc. But the point that's really important is that humility aspect, right? Rupalji, as you said that, it's not that once Arjun has heard everything, Sri Krishna straight says, okay, I'm going to show this to you now. It came as a continuation of that humble desire, that humble request by Arjun. All right, well done. Thank you so much, everyone. Question 3. What are the very first quantities that Sri Krishna says Arjun can behold? Quantities is in double quotation marks, so think of quantities, think of numbers, etc. But again, also what it is that Sri Krishna says Arjun can behold. And as you all know, many times in double quotation marks, that's either a hint or it's a word to look for as part of your search. Dilji, Radhe Radhe.
In verse 5, it says that Krishna says, behold, Parth, my hundreds and thousands of wonderful forms. Those
Absolutely right.
quantities.
Yep. Verse 5, hundreds and thousands of wonderful forms of various shapes, sizes, and colors. So these are those first so-called quantities that Sri Krishna tells Arjun he can behold. And then the sequence continues, of course, from there.
And if you all remember the flyer Gagan had made for this one, it really had those colorful shapes. Am I right, Gagan?
Yeah, that's right. Yep, I'm reminded of that. Good point. Yeah, those like
Yeah.
puzzle type square, rectangle,
Yeah,
circle,
yeah.
triangle, and all. Yep.
Yes. Okay, so let's move to question number 4. Question number 4, we are looking for fill in the blanks. Whatever blank you blank to see blank, it all blank this blank for.
And yeah, let's have 5 different people. That's pretty much most of everyone today. Give us one word in order. Once you can, of course, locate the right verse, or you're guessing some of these. Okay, Rupalji, first word. Radhe Radhe.
Whatever else, Radha Radha.
Okay, thank you, Radhe Radhe. Dilji, second word.
You wish.
All right, you wish to see. Okay, Anuji, third word.
So you wish to see, observe.
All right. Someone else for the fourth word. Bilji, Radhe Radhe, good morning.
Good morning. I think it's within.
Within. All right, great. And Pranayji, last word.
Universal.
Universal. Okay, excellent. And someone now to read it all out then, before we reveal it on the screen. What did everyone say? Word, 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 word. Okay, Dilji.
All within this universal form. Verse 7.
Okay, so Mummy, it's on the screen.
Yeah, so the sentence is whatever else you wish to see, observe it all within this universal form. That is what Sri Krishna told Arjuna.
Yep, excellent. And as Dilji you said, is that verse 7 right here? Second part of verse 7, same sentence in the translation. Okay, next up, question 5. Apart from divine eyes, what does Sri Krishna's granting of spiritual vision add? So read a little differently, think about Sri Krishna grants spiritual vision. So he adds divine eyes for us. What else does he also add or provide?
Actually, this was very interesting for me also when I was doing my revision yesterday of the whole chapter. See what happened during the whole chapter. We kept on mentioning the divine eyes. But there was something else also. So let's see if you all remember that.
And one other comment I'll make is spiritual vision here is not a misleading phrase or a pun or anything. Literally just, that spiritual vision, when Sri Krishna grants it, he grants divine eyes. Is that it? Is there anything else?
Yeah, there are other things along with it.
Yeah. Okay. Bilji, Radhe Radhe.
I'm wondering if this involves Sanjay, because Sanjay could see, but he also can hear what Sri Krishna is saying.
Okay, so part of your answer is right. The hearing part that you mentioned, alluding to something in the right answer. But yeah, this would be for anyone who has that grace of getting that spiritual vision. All right. Okay, thank you, Bilji. Delji, Radhe Radhe.
In the commentary in verse 8, it says that God adds not only his divine eyes to the soul's material eyes, but he adds divine mind and divine intellect.
Okay, in the right direction. So far, very good. Yep, Delji. So divine mind, divine intellect. Okay. Rupalji, Radhe Radhe.
Excuse me, Radhe Radhe. So God is giving his grace, and through his grace, he gives us the divine senses, the divine mind, and the divine intellect, and the divine vision. That is my understanding.
Yeah, that completes the answer. So thank you, Rupalji. Thank you, Delji, Bilji. Yep, divine mind, divine intellect, and divine senses. So Bilji had mentioned about hearing. That's right. See, remember, it's not just about being able to see God literally, but also to be able to comprehend God. I think Swamiji writes that somewhere. And to understand God, really to know God. So that's why he grants not just that divine vision, the eyes, it's actually all the senses, and of course, the divine mind, the divine intellect.
So, Gagan, we could take them to the commentary part of verse 8, where it is exactly written. The
Yeah,
last line of commentary.
correct. Yep. Then, equipped with the divine senses, mind, and intellect of God, the soul can see his divine form, think of it, and comprehend it.
Hmm.
All
See,
right?
because we are doing each and every verse line by line from Swamiji's commentary. So, even I noticed that during so many months we were doing it, unless we revise this whole thing again and again, we are not able to, or we are not able to comprehend the very minute details. So, with divine vision, what is needed? Divine senses, divine mind, and divine intellect. That is what God graces that special devotee. Let's move to question number 6. Okay, here we are looking for forming the pairs through translation. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 words. First is drashtum, then prapitamaha, then ananyaya, and then vishwarupa. So let's see who can match drashtum. Delji, go ahead.
Drashtum, to see.
Okay, very good. Next is prapitamaha. Anuji?
That means the great grandfather.
Wonderful, very correct. Now let's see Ananyaya. It's the most important word of this chapter. Pranayji?
Unalloyed.
Wonderful. And Vishwaroop, Rupalji.
Form.
Yeah, that is correct. Yep. Universal form, either by elimination or hopefully because you know it. In fact, it's also in the title we saw for chapter 11. Yep.
Yeah, so drashtum means to see, prapitamaha. Remember, in this there is a word hidden, pitamaha. Pitamaha we already know, that is grandfather, pitamaha. And prapitamaha is great grandfather. Ananya, that is unalloyed, which is not mixed with anything. If you all remember the flyer Gagan had made about the different metals to give you that feeling, and Vishwaroop, that is the universal form. So you all know all this. Wonderful. Let's move to question number 7.
Question 7, true or false? Arjun beholds both Brahma and Shiv within Sri Krishna's body. Read through, think through, let us know if that is true or false, and perhaps why. Okay, Bilji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe. There's a bit of a guess, but I'm thinking it's false because Brahma is not divine. Brahma is in the material, mortal.
Okay, we'll store that, Bilji. Thank you so much. And Anuji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. So, based on verse 15, yes, Brahma seated on the lotus flower is what he saw, and Shiv as well. So, I want to say true, but there was more than that Arjun beholded in Sri Krishna's body. So I'm not sure if it is a trick question.
No, not a trick question at all, actually. So yeah, that is correct, Anuji. Indeed, it is true. No trick here, nothing misleading. And yes, as you said, verse 15, Arjun said he sees many, entities, people, etc. In particular, I see Brahma seated on the lotus flower. I see Shiv as well. So he does see both Brahma and Shiv within Sri Krishna's body. That's it. Wanted to keep this one simple.
Oh, Anuji, this is to bring in the fact that, as we have earlier mentioned, or in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So now from here it is clearly shown that Brahma and Shiv, they are also part of him only, because they are also seen in his universal form. That is what this question is bringing the point, very important point, right?
Absolutely.
We do consider other celestial gods, but we cannot comprehend or think, oh, Shiva is also. But here it clearly states in Bhagavad Gita that they were all seen within the cosmic form of Sri Krishna. So he is the only Supreme Lord, and he has manifested in those forms separately. This is what it is driving the point home. So I hope it clarifies. Of course, he did behold many, many, many other things. Yeah. But this is something very important, that even seeing Brahma and Shiv also within the cosmic form. Okay, Gagan, let's move to question number 8. What do the great sages and perfected beings extol Sri Krishna with? What were they all doing?
So go through the various verses and try to see if you find great sages or perfected beings, or maybe you find the word extol, and that'll help lead you towards the right answer. All right, Rupalji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. In verse 21, it says, the great sages and perfected being, her extolling Shri Krishna with auspicious hymns and profuse prayers. Radhe Radhe.
Perfect answer. Very nice. Thank you, Rupalji. So, what were they extolling Sri Krishna with? Auspicious hymns and profuse prayers. Wonderful.
Very well done. And I'll also call out Krishna ji as well. He's been messaging me a couple of the correct answers. Well done as well. So yeah, glad to see a lot of participation there. Okay, question 9. What is meant by God's terrible teeth? Double quotation marks, terrible teeth. We keep hearing that, if you remember. I think chapter 10 also we saw a lot of it. Chapter 11 we've heard it many times. Arjun, the translations, Swamiji's commentary. There's this constant mention of teeth, and not just teeth, but terrible teeth. What is meant by God's terrible teeth? Okay, Delji, Radhe Radhe.
If I recall correctly, it's the terrible teeth of time that dissolves everything.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yep. And Saraji has also given that answer. Well done. So yeah, indeed, let's read this carefully and get that specificity. God's terrible teeth refers to the force of destruction that grinds everyone to death with the passage of time. So yes, indeed, those terrible teeth are a manifestation or representation of time. I forget, maybe we once said it, right? Like the cogwheels of time, if you think of cogwheels connecting and moving together. And they grind as well. Here, the grinding is, of course, all, the material souls, etc., everything that are each of us in these bodies with the passage of time. Well done. Okay, next up, question 10.
Question 10. How is Arjun's role in the war instrumental? This is also very important. Remember, we understood this word, instrumental.
And instrumental here is in double quotation marks because maybe that helps with a hint. Okay. Anuji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. I think this points back to verse 32 and 33, which are my really favorite ones. As a reminder of Sharanagati, right? We have to always remember we are just a mere instrument of God, and that He had already slain those warriors. They had already ceased to exist. And Arjun was just a mere instrument of fulfilling his duty, to please the God. So I think that is what this alludes to, that Arjun is simply an instrument. All the work, his participation doesn't really matter. It's already done. But God is just giving us and gracing us with the opportunity to serve Him so that we can uplift our soul.
Yep, very well said, Anuji. The correct answer, he will be an instrument of Sri Krishna's work. In our day-to-day language also, we use it so often in India. And even, when I watch some of the Pakistani dramas, they use this word a lot, कि भगवान वसीला बनाता है. In that Urdu, they call it vasila. Vasila means that instrument, that work is done by God. It is just that He uses the right devotee as an instrument for His work, That is what we understood here, that in that cosmic form, remember, past, present, future, everything was shown. And that is what Arjun saw also, that all the Kauravas and other people are slain already. So Krishna showed him that it is already being done by me. I am only using you as an instrument, because you are my great devotee. So this honor will go to you basically. So that is what it means. Gagan, anything you want to add?
Very great elaboration there. So very helpful, Mummy. Thank you so much. And I'll just double check. We have, as Anuji said, verses 32 to 33.
33.
So let's see over here. We have 32, right? The warriors shall cease to exist. And then look at verse 33, right here. Therefore, arise and attain honor, etc. You will only be an instrument of my work, O expert archer. That is what Sri Krishna says to Arjun, of course. So yes, he is an instrument of the Lord to perform the work that he has to.
And then here now, after listening this word, oh expert archer, what I am thinking right now, I'm extrapolating. I don't know how it has come to my mind, that we should also try to make ourselves really expert or good in certain things, hoping that if we are really working very hard for this thing and if we become expert, maybe God will use us as an instrument to do his some work, right? That's what I just thought, and I hope it rings the same bell with all of you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of inspiration, actually, as you said, because then it gives people even more of that spiritual purpose.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Okay. Next is question 11, chapter 11, question 11. Let's see what it is. What is meant by Arjun saying, you are both the knower and the object of knowledge? So this one again is a little deep, very important. We'll take two volunteers. First person to tell us what it means that Sri Krishna is the knower, and then somebody else to tell us what it means that Sri Krishna is the object of knowledge. So we'll give you some time, look through the verses, the commentaries. One of these is certainly much easier than the other, but we'll collectively get to the right answer.
Gagan's questions really force us to go through each and every verse to find the answer.
All right, Daleji, the first one, the knower.
Okay. In commentary on verse 38, it says that Sri Krishna is omniscient, the knower of everything.
Okay, we'll store that. Thank you so much, Daleji. And somebody to tell us what it is that Sri Krishna is the object of knowledge. And everyone has a hint as additional hint because Daleji mentioned a verse. So maybe you all are in that section now. Okay, Rupalji?
Radhe Radhe. Shri Krishna is the object of knowledge, meaning that the true knowledge. I guess true knowledge is that which helps us know God. So he is the object of knowledge for us. Radhe Radhe.
Radha. Okay, very well done. Yep, absolutely spot on, Rupalji and Daleji. So indeed, right here on the screen, God is omniscient. He is all-knowing. So he is the knower. He knows everything. And then the object of knowledge, meaning true knowledge, is that which helps us to know God, because that is our purpose. Any knowledge we are seeking, we're learning, we're adding to our skills. It is for that knowledge of God. It is to know God. So let's take everyone to the verse that this is presented in. So Dilji, did you say verse 38? Yep, it's right here. So verse 38, if you look at it, if you look at the later part of Swamiji's commentary, Sri Krishna is omniscient. He's the knower of everything. So that's one. And then from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Swamiji has quoted, true knowledge is that which helps us know God. And then, of course, he quotes from Maharajji as well, ending that commentary there. Therefore, God, or Arjun says, right, to God, you are both the knower and the object of knowledge. All right.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Now that you know that, let's look at question 12.
Why does Arjun crave forgiveness?
Anuji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. I believe this comes from verse 41-42, where Arjun feels that he's addressed Krishna disrespectfully, treating him like a friend, and he would jestfully treat him, like while playing, resting, sitting, eating, while they were alone or with others. So he was feeling bad about how he's addressed Sri Krishna in the past. And now that he has seen the cosmic form, he feels that he's disrespected him.
Perfectly answered, Anuji. Wonderful. Yes, because his undue affection out of ignorance. Earlier, he did not know that he is the real Supreme Lord. That might have led to him treating Sri Krishna with disrespect, though jestfully. That is what is coming from the commentary. Because he was being very, very casual. He had no idea. He just thought that he is my friend, he is my cousin. So he was in ignorance. Now, after seeing the universal cosmic form, oh my God, he realizes, what was I doing? So that is why he is asking for, requesting for forgiveness. Over to you, Gagan.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yep. And I think, Mummy, you had mentioned many times in class, the reminder that Arjun was treating Sri Krishna as his pal, as his buddy. And I know you also had in maybe some Hindi sort of description in a way, also some reminders of how people interact in that mode. So that's really why Arjun was craving that forgiveness. For him, he didn't realize that, oh, this is also His Majesty, the Supreme Lord, in a way. But again, it was all jestfully. So that's an important aspect here in the response. Yep.
That is, I remember, noticing when kids were young, and especially in India, when we were young, it was very common, that we friends would walk like this, with hand on your friend's shoulder and being very casual. Are yaar, oh my friend, हाँ क्या हाल है, or slapping the other person little bit on the shoulder, that emotional way of showing your friendliness to your close friend. That is what here Arjun was doing with Sri Krishna, and that is why he's asking for forgiveness. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
reminder, Gagan. I myself forget what I speak, but you pick up, and your observation is so amazing. Thank you for that
Thank you.
reminder.
Thank you. Yep. All right. Question 13. To know God, what pure love do you need? Again, double quotation marks, pure love, a hint over here perhaps, but it is for us to know God. And we'll wait, of course, for people to try to generate that right answer, get the right answer. No more hints there. So I have one answer in the chat window. Krishna ji, yep, you've got half of it. Need to just amplify a little bit more on the other part of it. But yes, good, you're in the right direction. Pranay ji, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. I'm thinking it is from verse 55. So, yeah, those who perform all their duties for my sake, who depend upon me and are devoted to me, who are free from attachment and are without malice towards all beings, such devotees certainly come to me. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a slightly longer version of giving sort of what that essence there is. But yeah, we'll store that, Pranay ji. Thank you so much. Anuji, next, Radhe Radhe.
Yes, so 54 verse talks about the unalloyed devotion, and that's where I was headed with my response. That ananyata in our bhakti is what gives us the purity of our heart and make us the pure love that God needs.
Okay, all right, we'll store that as well, Anuji. Thank you so much. And Dilji, your response was going to be?
I agree with Anuji. I was going to say unalloyed devotion is the pure love that we need to know God.
Okay. So if two people say that, then that means it's the correct answer. Yep. All right. Yeah, you all are correct. Well done, Dilji. Well done, Anuji. This is, remember, Mummy said at the start earlier today, right? In fact, Dilji read this as part of the introduction. It came up. It's in the flyer as well, of course, in a different context, perhaps, right? Unalloyed devotion to questions about Sri Krishna's wisdom. But that is truly the pure love that we need. Pure is the unalloyed piece. Love is the devotion piece. Unalloyed devotion is what we need to know God. And many of you pointed out that is chapter 11, verse 54. Mummy also mentioned the flyer from recently. Yeah, all those different metals. I think we even gave you homework, right? Look up, what is it, like copper, bronze, iron, steel, etc., and which are alloys and which are not, just in a fun way. But again, here it's about that unalloyed devotion. Yep. I'll share something funny that when you're typing this out, the first half of the answer, if you accidentally make a typographical error, then one letter gets changed, and it is so ironically contrasting. So if you change the Y, though they're not next to each other, but they're in the same line on the keyboard, if that Y becomes a W, what do you get? It's really sad, I think. It's ironic, it's contrasting. You get unallowed devotion, and that's not true. Here, this is unalloyed devotion. It's in fact devotion that is fully allowed. We want it to be that way. So anyway, this happened as I was typing it up. I thought I'll share that. Dilji?
What's unallowed is kusang and things like this. So,
Yeah.
someone can naturally be devoted or addicted, you could say, to something, but what we're looking for is unalloyed devotion to God. And your unalloyed devotion to Swamiji's commentary and the translations from yourself and Minu really points to each of us as students to go ahead and make sure that you use the book, because that's really, the scriptures are themselves, what's written here before us is where we're seeing the truth. So thank you for being so vigilant about it. It's amazing.
Thank you so much, Dilji. Always kind, nice way how you put that. So really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And
This is all
Grace.
Gagan's perseverance that, puts energy in me, Otherwise, I'm going through some very severe breakdown from back pain and my leg pain. But here, after eating my strong medicine, I'm sitting here because of Gagan's perseverance. Now, if I remember unalloyed devotion, there are two things which I mentioned by extrapolating. Remember that. One is unalloyed, that we understood by seeing the cosmic form that everything is in him. So it is decided now that Sri Krishna is the Supreme Lord. We don't need to do any rituals. This is what we learned in this chapter and in Bhagavad Gita. We don't need to do any rituals. We don't need to pray to any celestial gods. If we just pray to Sri Krishna unalloyed, that will take care of everything. Same the way we water the roots of a tree, and everything is taken care of. Thick, fine. And another part of this unalloyed is that we are not going to ask anything. All we are saying, Sri Krishna, we need your bhakti and your seva. That's it. Because then everything else will fall in place on its own. These are the two very crucial lessons we have understood from this unalloyed devotion. Keep that in mind. One, it is we pray only to Sri Krishna, and two, only for his bhakti. We are not going to ask anything else. That is what, at least, I have really learned from Bhagavad Gita and these chapters, and that is what I am conveying to you all. Hope that rings a bell with all of you as we listen to Swamiji's discourses also. Over to you, Gagar.
Yeah, very important. Good aspect. Good reminder, Mummy, there. Yep. It's only seeking that bhakti. That is indeed what we are aiming for. Yep. Let's go on to question 14.
Question 14 we are looking for a synonym in English. Okay, here comes Bilji for this answer. Great interest for him. Rebukes for line crossings. What is it that Swamiji has used in his commentary?
So here, just one comment is that there are actually two different words that will come up. One is for rebukes, one is for line crossings. So it's not a single word or a phrase that'll be for the entire portion. And that's just so that we could cover two English words that Swamiji has used in the entire chapter instead of just one. Okay, Anuji, tell us just the first one. Rebukes, please, Radharani.
I do not know which verse or anything. I'm just going based off my memory, so please forgive me if I get this wrong. I believe it's admonish. I don't even know if I pronounced it correctly. Admonish.
Yeah, that's the verb. And so rebukes, the noun, would be admonitions. Yep, absolutely correct. Well done. And somebody else for line crossings. And remember, all these are used by Swamiji. And of course, it's all in this spiritual context. Think of crossing the line, meaning crossing the boundary or like violating something in terms of a spiritual sense or a spiritual principle. It's an important word. Of course, we seek to not commit those. Dilji, Radharani?
There was a mention of transgressions by Arjuna when he was asking for forgiveness. Maybe that's what you're looking for.
Yep.
On dot. Wonderful, Delji. Yes. This is what Swamiji has written. Gagan, can you show in which verse? The
I'll
answer
have to.
is admonition
44.
for transgressions.
Okay, I'll take us to verse 44 then. I think admonitions comes maybe. Admonitions, I'll tell everyone to look for it. It's in the verse where Swamiji gives the commentary of that Mother Yashoda and Krishna mud eating story. So that's where chastise and admonish come up, or admonition. And then verse 44, right here, right in the first sentence of the commentary. Transgressions toward God. That is why Arjun is seeking a pardon, because he thinks whatever he has done, right? Being extra friendly with God, being casual, playing, eating, etc., jestfully, he now recognizes or realizes that those may have been transgressions. So like crossing the line in that spiritual sense. So rebukes for line crossings is admonitions for transgressions. we seek to not have transgressions. We therefore also seek to not get admonitions. All right. We're doing well in time. And final question, question 15. Which three-dimensional souls go to God? And this is hopefully, at least for those who were paying attention last week and or went through the recap video carefully. Pranayji, Radhe Radhe.
Yeah, I think okay, sorry for the I think it should be human beings.
Okay, we need a more specific response there, but yeah, you're in the right direction. Let's see, Anuji, Radhe Radhe.
This is the one that Pranayji was trying to answer before, comes from verse 55.
Yeah.
So those who depend on God, those who are devoted to Him, they are free from attachment without malice towards all beings. Those are the devotees that come to Sri Krishna.
Okay. Yeah, almost there. Absolutely right, Anuji. And yes, Pranayji had gotten to this much earlier. I absolutely recall as well. So let's see, Dilji, your response.
The duties part, sorry, I missed part.
Okay. Okay. Dilji?
Yeah, definitely verse 55 with the catchphrase, dutifully dependent devotees, the 3 Ds. So those who perform duties for Krishna's sake, who depend upon him and are devoted to him.
Excellent. What do they say? That's like a mic drop or something? I think that's a phrase in the US they use a lot.
What
Well
does that
done.
mean?
Yep. Dutifully dependent devotees.
I
End
love
of
it.
story. Done. Yes. All right. Excellent,
Can
Dilji.
I just add one thing? I think we all also need divine intellect, like Gaganji's, to answer these quiz questions.
It's all grace and collective grace.
Thank you, Gaganji.
Thank you, Anuji.
It's always such a nice way to charge our brain first thing on a weekend morning.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Anuji. Yeah. In fact, I like today what Pranayji had said right at the start of class. He said something like, it's a warm weekend. Oh, it's a warm weekend to start with Bhagavad Gita. And again, very kind of him to say that. But thank you, Anuji, as well. So indeed, that is the end of this chapter 11 full chapter quiz. Thank you all, of course, for participating. And again, before we take blessings from Radharani, of course.
Yeah, but we have to all remember day in, day out the phrase dutifully dependent devotees. That is the crux of chapter 11, the last verse. That is what Sri Krishna is saying, that dutifully dependent devotees come to me. So for that, let's take blessings from Radharani. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gaganji.
Yeah, thank you, Pranayji.